Hello and welcome to the second in a series of short demonstrations showing how Rational Team Concert, Rational Doors and Rational Rhapsody can help you in the process of complying to ISO 26262 for the development of safety critical automotive products. In this demonstration we will show how Rational Team Concert can be used along with the ISO 26262 process content described in the first video in the series to help a project comply with ISO 26262. In this first section of the demonstration, we're going to show you how to create a new project and populate it with a process template. This is the JAS administrator with the general project area, and we're just going to create a new project, give it a name, 26262 project. Okay, we can add a summary and a description for it, and then we're going to pick out a process template. In this instance, the ISO 26262 process template. This process template was developed from the material that we showed in the previous demonstration in this series from that particular process content. Okay, so as a result of using this process template, what we have is a series of teams that have been created automatically. In this instance, the teams are based around the various phases of development for an ISO 26262 project, and also we'll end up with a set of timelines. The idea behind the timelines is they allow us to create a structure on which to base plans and around which we can develop our project. A timeline being a piece of concurrent project timing with iterations of which there can only be one active within any one timeline. The way that the timelines and iterations are created allow you to create or to start in different phases of the project, depending upon where you are in the overall project life cycle or where you sit within the OEM supplier life cycle. Now that we have seen the project timelines and the teams, we're going to show you how to add members to a team. So we're going back to our main overview, and now we're going to start to add members to the main team of the ISO 26262 project. By using this window, we can see what users are actually on the server. In this instance, we're going to select Pete and add him to the team. Okay. We can send Pete an email to join the team if we would like. We're not going to do that in this instance. But most importantly, we need to set the project role for the person. In this instance, Pete is the project manager, and we'll assign him to this role. The roles are very important because these determine the permissions and what people can and cannot do within Rational Team Concert. The project roles were derived from the process content that was shown in the previous video in this series. This is what a fully configured project area looks like with its teams and its sub-teams with the various roles assigned. Also, within this area we can provide links and associations to other tools. In this instance, we're looking at information relating to doors modules. Now that we have completed the initial project setup, I'm going to start to show you the dashboard, which is an overview of various statistics within the Rational Team Concert project. Okay, so each of these sections is relaying information from or about parts of the project. It's very easy to add widgets. You can simply go into the Add Widget section and then select whatever widget that we would require and then set it up. In this instance, what we're going to do To make it a little bit easier and a little bit quicker is we're going to duplicate a widget. In this instance, our safety production management or development and the statistics around that, and then change the settings. So what we're going to look at here, instead of the grouping by owners, we're now going to look at it in terms of the prioritization of the various work items. And from this we can see that there are 2 high priority work items, 5 medium, 3 low, and 2 are unassigned. We are now going to start to assign work items to the teams. We can either create these work items as one-offs, i.e. tasks or enhancements or risks or use cases, or we can create them from a template. The contents for the work item templates are directly derived from the process content that we talked about in the previous demonstration. So what we're going to do is we're going to assign some work items from the management of overall safety, and we're going to file it against our safety management team, and it's going to be planned for the iteration which is the overall safety management, and we're going to create these from the template. What this will give us is it will give us a number of work items, in this instance quite a small number. If we click onto our management of overall safety, this brings up the work item and it allows you to set the main settings. So we can see who it needs to be owned by. In this instance we're going to give it to Pete because he's the project manager. Priority, which is quite high, when it's planned for, the plan, some time estimates, and so forth. We're just going to save that. Okay. The other thing that we can see is we have a link here. If we click on this detailed description, this takes us through to the process content that was previously developed along with the various tasks from that process content. Because of the way that our plans have been set up and are related to the various teams, so if we look at our initial safety management team around iteration overall safety management, we will start to see that we've now got a new action for Pete to do our management of overall safety, and we have some unassigned actions. These can then be assigned to other members of the team. So we could assign our capture organisational rules to Yukio, who is the human resources person. And we're going to gather evidence of our quality management system is in place. We're going to assign that to Mark or Mike, which I think the safety manager. And then we can save that. When this is compiled along with the other information relating to the time required to carry out the task, all this information is used to update the various dashboards. It's also possible to use or to view the information in a number of different ways, as planned time, as task boards. Going back to our dashboard, we can see that the number of work items with a priority of high has increased from 3 to 4, and our ones with an unassigned priority has increased from 49 to 51. Just to summarise, this short video has demonstrated how Rational Team Concept, together with our ISO 26262 web-based process content, can help with your compliance to ISO 26262. It does this by providing the appropriate project management and governance for the various workflows and role-based guidance on specific ISO 26262 processes and tasks. The next video in this series will show how Rational Team Concert along with Rational Doors can also be used to aid in compliance to ISO 26262. Thank you for listening.